Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the beginning of your week. Sunday night starts the week out right. So let's get ready, because guess what? We've got loads of information, everything you always wanted to know about demonic friendlies. Well, they're not so friendly. The overt and the covert narcissist. So as we get ready to go, grab the popcorn, grab your chips. Here we go.
The real deals are on the air now. And now, live from the Swords of St. Michael Studios, it's The Real Deals, Kenneth and Pharaoh's Deal.
Okay, so we got Kenneth in spirit, we got Farrah live, guys. Hey, listen, I have to apologize to some of my viewers real quick. I'll only take about 2 seconds. I have been very overly wordy with saying hello to everybody in chat on a regular basis. So I'm only going to say hi to people at the beginning and the end, all right? So please don't be upset. It's not that I don't see you, not that I don't want to say hi to you. So Carolyn J, Doris Athena, Michelle, Colin, Tony Copianco is in the house. All of you, I want to thank you so much. Bernard Brunette, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Everybody give us a big thumbs up, and either on the bottom of this video or on the top, please click the little bell so you can get notifications as I start doing more and more videos. I'm getting a lot of inspiration. Thank you for joining us. As always, we always start this show off on a wing and a prayer. So it's time. Let's bow our heads and thank St. Michael and all the choirs for all the protection we can get. So we're signing in. In nomine Dei Patri et Filii Spiritus Sancti, sic ut erat in principio et nunc et semper et saecula saeculorum. Sancte Michael Arcangele, defende nos in prelio. Contra nequitiam et insidiis diaboli est presidium. Imperire Deus supplicis te pecamur, duque. Princeps militia celesti satana maliosque spiritus malignos, qui et perditionem animarum pervegantur in mundo divina in virtute detrude. Amen. Okay, here we go. Now, to start off this series, because we're already in the fourth one, kids. I mean, and hopefully if you haven't followed me, you know, you can go back and look at the other in the series, Narcissist 1, 2, and 3. I did not give this one a number because this is sort of like when you're making a stuffed chicken breast or a stuffed meatloaf. This is kind of the stuffing that fluffs it up. And you're going to see what I'm talking about here as we go over into the covert and the overt narcissists. Now, when we're looking at covert and overt, the classifications here that we're looking at, and we're talking about a mental illness that is classified in the DSM-5, okay? What these are is this is the way they look at the differentiation of how narcissists act, react, and draw needs from their world. And my job as an investigator, as a demonologist, is to look at the potential signs and differentiate sources, differentiate, you know, whether we need to go into a full psychiatric review, that sort of thing. I am in no way, shape, or form an expert. I am not degreed here. You need to take your meds and stick with your doctor. What I do is I work from a spiritual warfare level. So as we look into the demonic, the invitation, and the next gen, what we're looking at to start off with in the covert and the overt, the covert being the underlying, the quiet one, the one that is passive aggressive, whereas the overt is the braggart, and it's in your face, and it's like, give me that, and I gotta have that, look at me. Okay, yeah, there's the overt, all right? So we're gonna start off here. And I apologize if you're looking on your phones and this is really, really tiny, but I am going to go over all the words so that you guys can join in too. We're looking at the masks of narcissism. And as with all the demonics, as everyone knows, and if you don't know already, all the demons are not created alike. Just like all the angels aren't created alike. We have not only do we have a hierarchy, kids, but we actually have absolutely different forms, different representations. They're all different. They're all incredibly different. And so much so that they are recognized by the patterns that they follow, or in other words, the choirs of angels, the choirs of, demons, and there is, an equal and opposite one there. So we look at the masks that our human narcissists wear that I believe are, and from my experience, are demonically oppressed. We look at 6 different types, classifications, exactly, different ranks, Colin. So we're going to start with the victim. Now, in human nature, a victimhood is a mentality, it's a state of being. It masks in the narcissist, the true desire and the true need, which is a source. And its source is being fed by, it's not my fault. I couldn't have ever had anything to do with it. There's no way. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay. And this is in the mental illness portion of the narcissist. Okay. This is very, very, very obvious when you see a pattern of regular no accountability in the demonics, in an investigation. You're going to notice this in shadows, in demonic footprints that cannot be pinned down to anything really negative, very evil. It's not, it hasn't crossed over the barrier to hurt anybody because there's no accountability. You can't pin it down. And so in an investigation and in talking to people that have had these demonics that are wearing this victim mask, poor me, you're going to have La Llorona, the criers, the tear jerkers, or in other words, the demons that are pretending to be sad ghosts. Oh, yeah, La Llorona. You're also going to have babies cooing, crying in the hall, victims, playing the victim. Okay, what better to distract you? Hello, right? Okay, so we see the parallels and the correlation of the demonic playing the victim for you and the narcissist playing the victim. And what does it do? Sucks you right in, baby, because you're on it. Oh, I just want to help. Oh, just let me help it. Let me help it. Let me help it. Exactly. Totally slithery, totally nasty, totally disgusting. And, this is how they get you. This is the mask that they put on. That's why I was saying, kids, these are great masks. These are things we look for. So this one's really obvious in more ways than one. And a lot of people get sucked into, yes, there is a movie called La Llorona. And it's a good one, too. It's a bad one. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. I'm not trying to encourage you guys to watch those movies. The effects is what the demonic wants. The the hit, all right? When you got a narcissist, they want their feed, they want their hit, they want your attention. They want you to jump in and go, I got some money for that. I'll save you. I'll do it. But it just doesn't always work out that way. You know what? I forgot to interject. If you guys have just joined us, please, if you have questions, wait till the half-hour point, because I'm going to do my best to stay on track for everybody that's new to the channel and they're thinking about subscribing and they're getting kind of offset because I'm always saying hi to everybody in chat. I apologize. So at the halftime, I'm going to say, please post your questions. I'll write the top 3 that I can get in and we'll answer it, okay, according to my research and stuff. Thank you guys for being patient with me. So, the lover. Now, as in human nature, we have excellent examples of people that were, they were just too hot to handle. Romeos. They describe themselves as, they are just the absolute best you will ever have. They are sensual and they are touchy-feely and they have to have you now, and they have to be in your face and they have to be like, I want to live with you forever. I want to take you away and I want to marry you and I want to just like, I gotta just like be with you always. The lover of the narcissist, oh merciful heavens. They're going to totally bowl you over. I mean, with just beautiful words of, your skin, your eyes. Oh my gosh. And this goes for the male and the female of the narcissist, okay? We've seen this in both. So in this aspect of having the lover mask. Now, as we know, mask is something you rip off. This is something that they put on. This is basically designed, you know, they have this huge fishhook, barbs attached. No offense, Barb. But they have these barbs attached to this whole mask so that they can just suck you right in, all right? Now, on the demonic side, which is completely on the same level, the lover, this can be compared to the succubus or the incubus, except the big difference is that the succubus or the incubus is going to take you a lot longer to get rid of, all right, than a narcissist lover, because a narcissist lover, trust me, you can laugh at them and they'll leave. They're a little sensitive. But in the demonic, in the instance that we're looking at how they equate and they have their masks together, kids, what we're looking at here in the incubus succubus, they're going to approach you the same way. And what I'm saying, and this is how I'm drawing all these parallels to how people that have narcissism, most of them are truly oppressed, most of them. And I say this with great love and care for human nature and human beings that have the divine spark in them, all right? So if you're offended, this is my experience. We have spirits that completely focus on what they see you desire, what they see you need. If they watch you and they see that you need your hand held, if they watch you and they see you picking up magazines where all these happy couples are going on vacation and they've got their heads together, or they watch you and they see you're watching soft porn, or they watch you and they see you're watching hard porn. See, demons are all around us all the time, and they're picking up every little single thing that you're doing, all right? So just like your masked narcissist that sees you need a lover and you need to be loved desperately and they're going to have you, the demonic is the exact same way, all right? Please. We really, really, really have to think about how the demonic attacks us and how narcissists get into our space and into our mind, especially if you're emotional, you're sensitive, and you're an empath in any way. You're empathic and you're loving. The intimacy that the demonics will invite is going to start in your dreams. It's going to start in your imagination. It's going to feel very sensual. It's going to feel like when you jump into a cold pond or a cold pool and you feel all that cold water going all over your body. The demonics can give you sensations of sexual feelings, pleasure. You can have these dreams that are so intense that you're like, you feel like, you know, what was I doing in my dreams? You feel like, oh my gosh, I got to go to a confession. It's so bad. This is how they start. They start off very loving and very giving, and it's like a dance, people. It's a dance with demons, and you don't even know it. You have no idea this is going on. It's like, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. Can I go back to sleep and have this dream? Because we were just holding hands, and we were walking on the beach, and it was so sweet, caressing my hair, you know, just telling me all those sweet little things. No, please, you know, just say no. Don't do it. Like I said, it's easier to get rid of the mask of the narcissist lover than it is to get rid of the demonic. So let's go on down the line as we're watching the demonic and the narcissist complement each other. And yes, unclean spirits, whew, the way they work. Workaholic. Now, this mask of the narcissist is a little bit more difficult to detect, especially if you know people that are type A personalities like me, that are just like bulldozing their way into everything. Yeah. Except in this instance of the mask that the narcissist will wear is what happens is you've got somebody that this is the best. I am the best. Let's say they build houses, or, you know, they design houses, or architects. It's like, you wouldn't believe it, but, you know, I was up against 10 architects in that meeting, and I did this, and I did that, and I did this. They have to constantly show that their workmanship is the best. They're in constant competition because they're just like, they want that feedback. They want that. That is their hit. Whereas demons, when you look at the demonic, portion of the workaholic, I would have to say that this is a really interesting area in demonology and in investigation. When you encounter demons of this nature that are wearing a mask that they can do more and be more, this is an invitational sort that I usually see with teams. Ghost hunting teams, that I see with people that are curious about everything from a Ouija board to scrying to, crystal waving, that kind of stuff. These demons want to tempt people by letting them know, try this and you'll know more, try this and you'll get more, try this, because they've got that carrot that they're handing you the better stuff. They're going to continue to help you get to the peak experience. You never get it. Never. Okay? So that's how those two line up there. So, the rescuer. Now, this one's an interesting one because whereas earlier, we were talking about the victim, et cetera, the rescuer's kind of strange. When you have a rescuer narcissist, this one's pretty unusual because the rescuer, sort of like the victim and the martyr, their hit is going to be in them just being there for you. Do you need me? Do you need me? Do you need me? Or, oh, I saw you needed this. Let me drop that off. I just saw this. Let me drop that off. And I have to say, I have to interrupt that I just love looking at the comments in this chat room. You guys are the best. You guys have such intelligent, such honest, such bare questions, and you guys just really, really talk. So, I'm back to my show. Apologies, kids. The rescuer. In the rescuer narcissist, what you're going to see is somebody that always has to premeditate what you need and give it to you. Now, what do I mean by premeditate? I mean that this type of narcissist is using the intellect and going, okay, what's missing in that person? Oh, that person needs a tire. That person needs... It's like they collect and they gather. And you're going to find this with all narcissists. They're constantly, even the covert ones, they're constantly collecting and gathering data on you so that they can use it against you, just like the demons. All right, you guys get that? Just like the demons. This is why I do believe most of them are oppressed and most of them are listening to demons. The rescuer in the demonic, in investigations and in demonology. The rescuer demon. When you're looking at, because demons never rescue, or they never have anything nice for you or anything like that. It's just not possible. So what do? They create a false front, a phony flag that says they've got something you need. Now, where do I see this? All right, guys, please don't get offended if you're listening, but too bad, so sad, I'm going to spit it out. People that think they're talking to an angelic presence that's really a demon, it's not their guardian angel. This is the dangerous rescuer. Okay? This is the one that's like, I had this mystical experience and I got this message that I had to go help this person and I helped this person and it was so at the right time and it was so this, it was so that, and it was just so darn wonderful. And you thought that was your guardian angel because one thing, one physical thing led to one person what? Saying how wonderful you were? Did God get the credit? This is where discernment comes in. And when we look at these encounters with people saying, oh, yes, I have such a relationship. Yes, this is bloody ass scary. I'm sorry. They're going to demonetize me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Bad Farrah. Sorry. But you know what? People have to know this is really dangerous stuff. When you're playing with a rescuing demon that is sitting there trying to entice you because they want to give you information, because they want to usurp your guardian angel, you got to be really careful. Oh, I can't believe I said that word. Apologies, you guys. The elitist, okay? And I still got 2 more slides to go through, you guys, and I'm just blathering on. Exactly, it is a profit issue. So, the elitist, the pretentious one, addicted to admiration. Now, I have to tell you, kids, that this is the worst one. Actually, maybe the martyr is, but we are addressing these things in order of a rank, okay? The worst demons to kick out of a home or kick out of a person are the most pretentious, the most braggadocios, the biggest, grandstanding, loudest, obnoxious things you could ever run into. They stink, they smell, they look funny, they're horrible. In a narcissist, what you're looking at in the elitist is that nothing's ever good enough for them. This wine, oh my goodness, we could have had better wine had we gone to the restaurant down the street, but no, you had to make me suffer this cheap red wine, okay? Very elitist, very snob, and it doesn't matter. It can be their clothes, it can be the wine, it could be anything. Elitists tend, like most narcissistic masks that they put on, elitists will tend to focus on one area to tear down, and it could be behavior, it could be something as simple as a place you chose to eat, but they know the best. Their pretentiousness and their ability to know it all, if it's not massaged by you, holy jeez, are you gonna get it, baby? So, elitists are easy to spot. Just like the elitist demons. Like I said, we're going in order here. And the biggest and the baddest. Now, a lot of people don't understand the whole martyr system, okay? But I call Satan the great martyr. Oh, poor Satan. Poor Satan. Kicked out by a lower-ranking angel, St. Michael. The story of the narcissist's life. Oh, I've done everything for everybody. Nobody appreciates me. Oh my gosh, can you believe? Well, hello, let's look at the parallels right here. Let's look at the parallels. The martyr. The martyr is the most cunning, the most devious, the ugliest, the nastiest. They will wring your neck, drop you flat, shove it in your face, throw you out, kick you and tell you you are just no good for not appreciating everything they do. Hello, 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 hello. What does Satan do? What does Satan do? Oh, you don't appreciate me. You don't appreciate everything I've done. Well, guess what? You're going to lose your animals. You're going to lose your life. You're going to lose your husband. You're going to lose everything I've given you because I did everything and you don't appreciate it. Satan, just like the narcissist, must keep you in this abusive relationship and must destroy everything you have. Never forget it. Narcs are no different. We're going to go on to the next page. Pretty close to getting to what? That half-hour mark, because I got to hopefully take some questions here, guys, in a few. 6 minutes. All right, I'm going to try and roll through this one. Sorry, guys, but I'm on a roll tonight because this one is just like, oh. Some of this stuff makes me so mad because people get sucked in so easily, and it's so tough. It's so tough. So, as we look at overt versus covert, the demonics and the narcissist, which pattern themselves in the same way, we have distinctions in the DSM-5. The classification chart says that we have 2 different types of narcissists. They fit into either the cerebral or the somatic. Now, this is kind of interesting to look at here because you're going to have, just like in the demonics and the demonic footprints, the layers and the overlays of how they interact and how they basically lay their footprints down or how they present themselves to certain people. So, can I say I love you too, Doris? Smoochies. Cerebral. When you think about the cerebellum, big old floaty thing in your head, kids, gathers all this data and information. The narcissist that's cerebral, they live to show you what they know. I love you too, Julius. They have to have the last word on that subject. They have to hurry up and Google it. Just Google it. Just Google it. I know it. Because you know what? I saw it before. I know it all. I've seen it. Haughty. Have you ever seen somebody stomp off out of a board meeting because, oh, I can't believe I was treated that way? Why? Because what happened? Their view was not taken into consideration. So, you know, they just about had it. They're gone. They're done. Their level of intelligence. Now, IQ, I have to honestly say, in all the studies that I've read, and I'm still researching because I got more shows on this stuff, you guys. I have to say that everything I found, I can't find good studies on intelligence quotients and how it relates, you know, to the cluster B, cluster A in regards to narcissism. So, what I'm going to tell you is from my experience, they are very, very, very smart. And I would say the cerebral more so than the somatic, just because of the distinctions and the differences of the, Father Ripperger would call it faculties, the faculties that they use and the faculties that the demons use. And I always love pointing to Father Ripperger because he's Thomistic, all right? And he's also using Jordan Naum as references. He's just brilliant. And if you do not have Father Ripperger, if you're studying, and if you found this video, because I've tagged Father Ripperger and his book on psychology, if you are studying any kind of mental illness, if you're studying demonology and you're looking to expand your knowledge of psychology, Father Ripperger wrote a great book. I'll put it in the description later. So as we look at narcissism, and we look at this brilliance that they have just to, you know, absorb and create things out of nothing, just, you know, offense out of nothing. And they know stuff that you're just like, where did they get that? I think they fake most of it. My opinion. But they are always watching you, just like the demonics. And the demonics in the same way, these ranks, yes, Father Ripperger's so brilliant. I just love him. These ranks that, you know, that I'm talking about, the demons here, that are cerebral. And you know, I gotta tell you, because I love this. Oh my gosh, I love this. Father Ripperger always says, he says, okay, your guardian angel, if you're smart, you got a smart guardian angel. If you're dumb as a brick, well, I hate to tell you, but your guardian angel's pretty much dumb as a brick too. First time I heard that, I about died, and everybody's like falling off their chairs. But you have to understand, this is how God made the angels and how he made the humans. So, you know, your IQ is kind of tied to your guardian angel. You're only as smart as your guardian angel, so I sure hope my guardian angel's a little smart, because boy, sometimes I feel like a brick. But these demonics that are the, shall we say that in investigation, when you're looking to see where the patterns and the footprints are, as they invite and as they enter into your life, and as they entice you with a variety of temptations and oppressions that, you know, call you in, excuse me, to pay attention to them, these demons are very smart. They're very smart. And you look at yourself and you think, you know, I'm pretty smart. How did I fall for this? How does a person like me, I've either gone to college, or, you know, I am well-read, I'm well-traveled, I have a decent sense of, you know, right and wrong. How did I get sucked into this? Very easily. These things are very smart, so don't blame yourself, okay? We've got like about 2 more minutes and I got to take some questions. Somatic, all right? In the overt versus covert, they can be both. Somatic is more about, ooh, look at me, baby. I can bump you up. We are body conscious, okay? No fat on these bones, you know? Look at me. I'm just like, oh yes, I'm beautiful. I got my face on, you know, or the guys, you know, it's like they got 6-pack abs and they're just like rolling those abs out. And it's like, whatever. But this is a narcissist. They must, since they have, there's like 0 up there, 0, 0 in there, 0 in here. They have to have a frame of reference to suck you in. So what do? They look in the mirror and go, I see, I have some flesh on these bones. Let's make it so nobody can resist me. And that's what they do. They look to how good is their body kept. You know, cleanliness, working out, sexy dress, clothing, how they walk. You know, I have to interject this because, you know, I was a runway model years ago, many lifetimes ago. And I studied, you know, when I was going to go to New York, and I was going to do, thank you, Ash, thank you, woo-hoo-hoo, thank you for donating to the show, much appreciated. When I was involved with this kind of stuff, I studied some acting and actresses, this kind of thing, and I thought, you know, I want to have that walk. I want to have that walk that just makes me feel so confident. And I found out that Marilyn Monroe used to take off part of her heel, so it gave her that sachet that girls today still copy on the runway. Hello. Now, Marilyn Monroe was not a narcissist, but you know what? Your favorite somatic narcissist, they're going to definitely, you know, clench those butt cheeks as they walk, especially if they know they got your attention. And of course, you know, they're always going to say, oh, baby, you know, you could be anywhere. And these somatic narcissists are looking you up and down, and you can already see the innuendo in their eyes because they're like flexing their biceps. It's just hilarious. Guess what? The demons do the same thing. And demons don't have a body, do they? No. So what do? They steal one. They pretend they have one. They just like... Demons enter into our minds, and they create images. I don't know if you have all seen this movie, Meet Joe Black, where Death, it was also called Death Takes a Holiday, okay? And this is a really good example. What happened is Death decided to take a holiday. Death needed a body, all right? Demons do the same thing. They will watch you. They will see what you like. They will see what you yearn for, and they'll provide the opportunity. They'll provide the body, but it won't be a real person, ever. And it will build in your mind to where you've got this fantasy going on with something that isn't even really there. And pretty soon, you're going to believe in things that aren't there. This is how disgusting it is. So the last thing I did on this slide before we top off the show, you guys, is that all things that I'm talking about here with the classification of the narcissist and the demonics are so intrinsically parallel here that what you're looking at is a constant disorder. Nothing is rightly ordered here. There is no right order in any of this. So, as I thank everybody for coming, you know, just before we finish off the last slide and finish up, you know, the second part of the show, I'd like to ask you for questions from chat so that I can get those in. And I would like to thank everybody for coming. And I've been seeing Ash comment, and Sue and Tony and Colin, Carolyn, thank you so much for the donation. Ash and Tony Blanco, Tony C, Tony B. If anybody has any questions, I would like it if you could post it right now so I could squeeze one in. I did have one question earlier before the show that somebody had talked to me about, could I please go over the cycle, and that's why I've included it. Deb is on sabbatical tonight, okay, so she couldn't make it. I am so sorry, but prayers for her safe return for next week because we miss her. And we also have a couple of other people that may or may not join us tonight that need some prayers. So if you are a regular in the chat room tonight before you go to bed, just say prayers for people that do come in regularly. And that's quite all right, Michelle. And we're just answering a couple questions right now, and this was incredibly important. When we look at how narcissists operate and how the demonics operate, this is what we're going into next. So, as we go into the second half, right here. Please, everybody, give us a like. All right, thumbs up. Subscribe. If you can share the video, that would be great. If you can tag somebody you know or share it on their page, share it in a little message so that we can expose. That is why we do what we do. We want to bring light to all the dark areas and expose darkness for what it really is, okay? So please like, subscribe. And if you need books, if you need prayers, we've got lots of prayers on the website, www.swordsofstmichael.org, spelled out. If you need books, you can get them there, or you can get them at Prayers by the Bead, where I have lots of medals, rosaries. I do all kinds of custom devotionals with heirloom quality, you guys. And I also do really cute little things for the doggies. I love doggies and pets, so we got Benedict medals for doggies, etc. So now that I've gone over that. Now, this first cycle of abuse that I've got here, in case you guys can't see it, I will just totally blow it up for you because I can. Can everybody see that now, the cycle of abuse? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, cycle of abuse. Now, what we're looking at here is we're looking at the demonic cycle of abuse, okay? This is for the narcissists and the demons, you guys, because you know what they do. We've been talking about it. They bully you. They start by getting your attention and by putting pressure on you to respond, to react. Thank you, Carolyn. I had to say thank you, so please don't be upset, everybody, because, you know, I got to say thank you when I get stamp money and stuff in so I can take care of other people. Thank you, Carolyn. The tensions that build are there because you're not really sure what's going on. You have no idea why this has started. An incident's going to occur that is going to invite you into the dance, all right, you guys? And what's going to happen is it's all going to be all your fault. As we were talking about the demonics and the narcissist, it's all going to be all your fault, all your fault, all your fault. And you're going to feel so horrible and so bad, and then the demonic is going to be like, maybe you can do better next time. Maybe I'll give you another chance. And then you have a little bit of peace and quiet. And then it's going to start all over again. So as we go into the final countdown of the demonics here tonight, kids, yes, it is a hurt-heal cycle. And we talk about the covert and the overt, and we compare them to the demonics. We're looking at the cycle of narcissistic abuse. Whereas this blue cycle, it does not cover everything, so I'm really going to really fill it out. Your covert narcissist, as we know what covert means, kind of under the covers, covert's going to be like sneaky. Totally not in your face. He's going to be hiding behind things, inviting you to follow, watch. Covert is just going to be completely quiet. So just like your little quiet demonic hiding in the hall, the little dark shadow that is just like popping in and out, trying to get you to look. Rule number 1, Demonology 101, look away, look away. Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention. The covert narcissist, introverted. They have this, just a smugness, just this quiet. You look at them and they just seem so set, just so superior, so together. They're absolutely self-absorbed. Complete lack of empathy, but you're never going to know it because when you meet this type of narcissist, it's going to be all about you. Because just like the demons, the narcissists take a picture of you and they feed it back to you. So you just think, wow, I've never met anybody so wonderful. I've never met anybody that is so caring and so kind and so polite. And they're so thoughtful. Why? Give it time. Give it a day, 2 days, a week, a month. The nice thing about demonics and narcissists, They can't hide for long. There's something about a level of pride that they will expose themselves. You just got to give them long enough, and they're going to be right there. So when you're looking at the covert, even though they're not in your face, they have a passive-aggressive way that basically confuses you. You have no idea. You start to think, am I crazy? What's going on here? Is this real, or is this Memorex? You don't really know with the covert. And these the demons are the same way. The last entry that we had to say about this whole misunderstood special person with the covert narcissist is that just like the workaholic narcissist, the martyr and the victim narcissist, they will use that mask. The coverts are really good at using this mask to let you think, I do so much. I do so much for my ex-wife. I'm always there. But they're not overt like the overt. They're just like, I did this and I did that. You know, I just, but I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it because that's who I am. And that's what I got to do, and that's what I got to be. But they say it in such a sweet way. They can't believe nobody understands how special they are. Truly special, because only they can give it. Demonics are the same way, you guys. Demonics are the same way. They are just as passive-aggressive, just as misunderstood, and they are just as sneaky devious. Okay? All right. So we got that clear. Now, the overt is so much more easy to identify because they're the aggressive ones. They're in your face. You know, they are literally pinching you, tickling you, inviting you to play. They are the ones that are, oh, baby, it's okay, sweetie. My little poodle's just like, Mom, Mom. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Poodle had to say hi, everybody. Look at her. She's like, oh, Mom. I think she's ready for a snack, so sorry, but the poodle had to say hello, kids. I love you, baby. So when you're looking at the qualities of the overt narcissist, you are going to see that everything they do is above board perfect. It's way better than anybody else could ever be. They are looking for any way they can to use you, to exploit you. What have you got? What are you doing? Oh, get over here. I need this. I need that. They have to have whatever you've got. And they totally don't care. They don't care what you're in the middle of. They don't care what's going on in your life. They have to have it right now. Okay? Period. Woo! And they're all over it. So, these guys, these overt narcissists, are totally compliment seeking. They have such a distorted view of reality. They have no idea what's going on, and they don't care. Their reality is the only one that matters. Same with the demonics, you guys. They are just, sadly, these demonics are usually the toughest ones to get out, the overt ones, because the overt ones usually make the covert ones go in first and get kicked first, because they're the easiest ones to get out. The overt ones, they are so smart and they are so insidious. And I do mean insidious. They're really awful. So identifying these does take time. I had to add at the bottom of these covert and overt tendencies was a very, very negative, ugly category of narcissist called the malignant narcissist. So whether they are comorbid with any of the other personality traits in these cluster A and B personalities, when their comorbidity overlaps, a lot of times you get the malignancy coming out, which is a really ugly form of sadism. This is your higher level demonic. This is your overt demonic. This is your martyr demonic that is so well hidden that it will take a lot of prayer and deliverance and exorcism to get rid of. This is a really, really bad one. In narcissist and in relationships, oh my gosh. The sick thing about this is the sadistic messages they listen to from the demonics. They're only interested in totally annihilating and destroying somebody so that they can feel better about themselves. They're hit instead of being loved, instead of being admired, instead of being told, oh, you're just so wonderful. They laugh at people's destruction. They're secretly smiling. They're smiling at the downfall of another. They get such joy and pleasure at people losing their jobs, losing their relationships, losing everything they love. So you have to look at these narcissists and these invitations from the demonics because it's exactly the same. They focus on the one person. And I always tell people, listen, in any investigation, the weakest link, the one that is so sensitive and so loving and so easy and so wants to please, the weakest link always gets it. They've got to deceive first. Then they've got to divide second. Then they can destroy. So in the narcissistic cycle that we were talking about, what you're looking at is a specific cycle that in the cycle of abuse with people that are self-centered and selfish and have some of the traits of psychopathy and narcissism, but not all of them, there's a specific cycle. But narcissism is in a class all its own. They have what's called a cycle. I call it the Deadly Triad because it is. It destroys your self-worth. It destroys your sense of who you are. It destroys your sense of, my gosh, am I ever going to love again? This is horrible. It can really, literally, I mean, it destroys livelihoods. Women have lost fortunes. Men have lost, families and money. It's commonly known as the beginning of the invitation to dance, the love bomb, where the narcissist, and we'll go into this a little bit more after, a couple shows, because I got some other great shows. We got to break it up with the narcissism here and go into other mental illnesses and fun. The love bomb, where the mentally ill narcissist that can't think of anything but their needs, their hits, their time, will compliment you like nobody else on this planet, will take you to places you've only dreamed of, will fulfill your every fantasy. Now, this stage usually only lasts, and you guys are going to laugh about this, 4 to 6 weeks. That's when the fun comes in. Yep. When you look at the demonic and how the demonic does it, kids, they don't hide well either. Give them 4 to 6 weeks and they're acting up too. So if you think about it, you're looking at patterns of behavior that are easily identifiable. And if you wait long enough, they will expose themselves. And it's really hard. It's really hard when somebody's giving you that much attention and that much love, and they're taking you out and they're telling you all these wonderful words, and they're doing things that nobody else has ever done for you. And you're like, wow, what did I win the jackpot? And everybody's like, oh, this is so wonderful. The biggest thing, kids, narcissists do the same thing that the demons do. They will show one face to your friends and another face to you behind closed doors. Nobody will ever know the difference. Colin, thank you so much. Swords of St. Michael is rocking tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, Colin. The demonics, sometimes they don't even take 4 weeks, depending on what their goal is. See, demonics, they don't live in the same time zone we do, kids. They can take 6 months. They can take 6 years. But I guarantee you that the love phase of them enticing you, depending on their level of intelligence and their level of how much time they have before they have to get to the next person in their ranks, they could be as little as 4 weeks. They could be as little as 6 weeks. It just depends. Everything has a pattern with the narcissist and the demonics. We just have to be open to recognizing the fact that we're being bowled over. We're being snowed with all this attention. The demonics are telling us what we want to hear. Remember what I was talking about with the mystics and, you know, the people that are talking to angels and they're talking to spirit guides that are, they're just doing all this good stuff. Guess what? Satan does that. He'll give you all kinds of great information. Why? Because his legions are watching people and making calculations that are usually pretty accurate. Go figure. And you look like, I'm a prophetess. I can talk to angels. Whenever we take credit for something that is preternatural, we can get in a lot of trouble. These love bombs that you go through, these idealization of the victim. This is what's also called the honeymoon phase. But guess what? It can't last. Because there's no feeding, there's no attention to the narcissist. The demonic is not getting what it wants, so it has to totally devalue you. How does it devalue you? How does it? Because I do call narcissists its. How in its mind does it devalue you? It strips you of any value that you had. Affairs, physical, mental, emotional, disappears. Sorry, I don't think I'm in love with you anymore. And you're like, what? You're after all this love, nothing. Demonics will do the same thing. Demonics will convince you that you're so fabulous and you're so great and you're just this and that, and all of a sudden, nothing, and you look like a total idiot. Or you're wondering like, well, gosh, how could I be so wrong? Well, maybe. Sorry I had to interrupt. Love you too, Karen. Maybe if you look at the demonics from their perspective, you're seeing that this is the same game that they taught the humans to play with you. They have to do the push me, pull me game to keep you constantly engaged and to get you to believe that what they're doing is what you have to have. So they totally build up your value, steal that value and run with it, and they drop you like a hot potato. You're done. You're gone. No more. And then, because, yeah, it's pretty scary when it happens to you. It's really, really, it's just like, you're like, oh my gosh. You feel like nobody's ever going to love you again. You feel like you're so ugly and you're so stupid and you're worthless, literally. And this is the lie of the demonic, and this is a lie of the narcissist. Whether this is a narcissist partner, whether this is a narcissist parent, whether this is a narcissist person that you work with that has built up your work, devalued you, and then dropped you off a project, and you're like, what? What did how the heck did this happen? Then guess what they do? Narcissists and demons are not stupid, my dears. They're so not stupid. They've already got a plan for you, even though they dumped you on your tuchus, okay? like a spider that saves fresh blood for later. They just inject you with a little bit of numbing agent and they keep you wrapped up for later. I kid you not. I kid you not. Both demonics and narcissists doing that. And it's called the Hoover Tactic. What is a Hoover? A Hoover sucks you back in, but this is even better. Knowing how hooked you already were to the love bomb and the words of affirmation and the hope and all these wonderful things they promised you, they drop a couple on you. They drop the hint that maybe they can get back together. Maybe we can make this thing work out. And of course, you're so desperate. You'll do anything for that attention. Please come back. Somebody just smack them. Don't do it. Demons are the same way, you guys. They are. They play you. They play you like a fiddle. And the whole point of this is to completely break you down and destroy you. Narcissists don't care if you love them or not. All you are is a source for them to feed an empty, empty soul. Demonics are the same way. You are nothing but a source for them. They have nothing. They know where their end is. Okay, so if you look at it, you've got the same cycle. Yeah. Same cycle employed by what? The demonics and the narcissists. Now, there is a lot of argument and there's a lot of discussion, and I would love it if you would come, and if you're new to my channel, if you would come and discuss it, put some ideas down. If you have some authors you'd like me to read, I've done quite a bit. I've got, some really interesting facts, and I'm going to continue this at a later date, this discussion, because there's so much more that can be talked about here. We must be aware that every action has a consequence. Every thought will be made manifest in our actions. And the same goes for the demonics. The demonics are here to deceive us, to divide and destroy. And the narcissist is the closest thing that I've ever encountered that mimics exactly what the demonics do. So I do believe that they are oppressed, very oppressed. We'll talk about cure, solution, and stuff like that at a later date. And I just want to, it's the end of the show, I want to remind everybody, I'm sorry I couldn't talk to you during the show, but I'm trying to stay on point, you guys, okay? Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Carol and Sue. Thank you for the donations. Colin, J, Tony C, Tony B, Athena, all of you. You guys really, really, really keep me smiling, and I can't thank you enough. And if you're new, please, if you can, share this video, click like, subscribe, the little bell that's down there, down here, wherever that bell is, just hit it. So you guys get notifications. I'm getting really inspired for some great new videos, and things are really kind of settling down. The real deals are now going to be Farah and Jacob, my son. And we're going to continue to bring you great content as I can. If you have any ideas, like I said, drop some great questions down in the comments below so we can keep the chat going, keep the conversation going. And if you have some ideas about spiritual warfare and narcissism, shoot them to me, because guess what? Like I said, this ain't over till it's over here, kids. And it's the end of the night, so it's time to say happy Sunday. The battle has already been won, you guys, and you guys know it. The devil knows what's going on. He ain't happy about that. So, we're here to help you win the fight and win it right. Not the wrong way. So, good night, everybody. I want to thank you so much for coming, and God bless you all. Say your prayers, kids. Remember to pray to your guardian angel. Don't name him, please. go over that later. God bless you all. Love you. Sweet dreams, everybody.
The Real Deals TV show, copyright 2018, a Swords of St. Michael production. Any unauthorized duplication or rebroadcast or retransmission of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Swords of the Saint Network or that of Kenneth and Farrow's deal is strictly prohibited.